Imagine walking into a classroom where students aren't just learning, they're empowered, they're engaged, and they're seeing their own experiences reflected in what they study. This is the vision of Hip-Hop Civics, a teaching approach that leverages hip-hop culture to foster critical awareness, civic engagement, and social change amongst young people. But why is Hip-Hop Civics essential to hip-hop ed? Because it transforms education from a passive experience into an active one, a culturally relevant journey towards social justice. Hip-Hop Civics is a pedagogical framework that uses the ethos, practices, and languages of hip-hop to build civic identity and social responsibility in youth, particularly those from urban and marginalized communities. It's not just about using hip-hop as a cultural relevance, but as a reference tool to equip students with critical skills to navigate and challenge their social realities. By emphasizing empowerment, community engagement, Hip-Hop Civics doesn't just teach students about the world, it teaches them how to reshape it. At its core, Hip-Hop Civics teaches cultural relevance in the classroom when traditional education often fails to do that for students from marginalized communities because it's disconnected from their lived experiences. But Hip-Hop Civics bridges those gaps by situating race and identity within the context of hip-hop culture, things that students already identify with deeply. Whether it's talking about police brutality, systemic inequality, or representation in media, Hip-Hop Civics gives agency and allows students to have a role in their civic life. Building on the principles of Paulo Freire's critical consciousness, Hip-Hop Civics encourages students to critically examine societal structures and question the status quo. In hip-hop ed, this is crucial because it allows students to understand and critique the forces that shape their life. Hip-hop as an art form born out of resistance and resilience becomes a powerful tool for this purpose, analyzing lyrics, creating your own rhymes, or discussing issues from a critical lens gives not only media literacy, but the critical consciousness needed to challenge systemic inequalities. Finally, Hip-Hop Civics moves beyond the classroom, discouraging and encouraging students to become actively engaged in their communities. By fostering a connection between academic learning, real-world application, as well as empowerment, students see themselves as leaders and change makers. Civic action is not a distant goal. It's a fundamental part of the learning process. Whether music or community projects, students apply what they learn to benefit their neighborhoods, embodying the core of collective uplift that hip-hop as a culture champions all the time. Hip-Hop Civics is essential because it redefines what education can do for students who've been traditionally underserved. And by grounding civic engagement in a context that resonates with young people, people can advocate for their communities and a more just society. So when we ask what is Hip-Hop Civics and why it's crucial to hip-hop ed, the answer is clear. It's a form of education that's dynamic, relevant, and as revolutionary as hip-hop itself. Not only do you understand the world, but to transform it. Thank you.